Thomas at fullback, wing three-quarter line, Johnny Campbell, Ross Oakes, James Mendacre and Ethan Ryan. The halves are Joe Keys and Liam Price. The prop forwards, Liam Kirk, John Magrin and Scott Moore at hooker. Second row forwards, Evan Hodgson and Colton Roach. The loose forward is Sam Hallas, and on the bench, Sam Brooks, Ted Chappellow, Ilias McCarney and James Davis. The referee Tom Grant from Dewsbury, and the restart from Sheffield has landed on the Bradford 20. It's bounced forward and it's come off a Sheffield arm. This will be head and feed to the Bradford Bulls. They'll let the ball bounce. There was a bit of an air of hesitancy there from young Sam Hallas, and Liam Kirk was at his side to try and help him. Obviously coming into his view was the big man, Mark Mexico, trying to disrupt play early doors, but a very interesting restart. Sheffield coming up with error number 1 of the game with 10 seconds gone, and it will be a scrum head and feed to the Bradford Bulls. So Joe Keys on his return to action puts the ball in. It's taken out by Moore, and it's going to be carried in there by Hodgson on tackle number 1 for the Bulls, and he's brought down 20 shy of the halfway line. It goes out towards Magrin. Charging forward, and he's brought down just on the halfway line. More out of dummy half over on the far stand side, and they're just going through the motions with Mendacre 5 inside the Sheffield half as it goes back down this middle channel once more, and John Magrin going through a mountain of work, and he's brought down 40 out from the posts, and it goes now to Moore, to Kirk. They're 30 out from the Sheffield line in centre field. More out of dummy half. Quick ball in centre field to Keys. Keys strikes in. Johnny Campbell's chasing it. It's a take on the far stand side there by Gary Lowe, and he leapt the highest, and he's brought down 10 out from his own try line. So Sheffield now will come from deep. We've had 90 seconds gone. Providence scoreboard, Eagles 0, Bulls 0. Keep your tweets coming in. We'll go through them all at half time. As we said, we want your one tweet review of the Bulls season to date. In defence is going to be Moore, Magrin and Hallas. Bringing down the second row forward, Will Hope. He gets to his feet, plays the ball out of dummy half. It goes from Fozzard to Mexico. Mexico
very clever there.
Has caught the Bulls offside.
Yes.
First penalty, 10 shy of halfway. Sheffield will have a full set inside the Bulls half.
That's Mark Mexico, the number 7, one of the danger men I think today, and very, very clever. The fast play the ball from Sheffield, ran right into the defenders, the A&B defenders not standing square to play the ball, and Bradford Bulls from defending 30-metre markish, now defending their own 20-metre area, which is poor.
It's going to be tapped by Simon Brown. Brown gives it to Scott. Scott gets to his feet, plays the ball 20 out from the Bradford line, and it goes to Minchella to James. James, of course, formerly of the Bulls, once upon a time brought down 10 shy of the line, brought in a 2-man tackle by Hodgson and Price. They're going to give the ball some air over on the far stand side to the left of the post, and that is going to be Scott Wheeldon, the former Hulkeston Rovers man, and he crashes onto the ball and he's brought down just shy of the line. It goes out now from Yeri to Lowe, back in centre field to Mexico, a pass between the legs, and it goes back to Gary Lowe. Gary Lowe is over the line for the Sheffield Eagles, but the referee Tom Grant is going to say there's a high tackle from Oscar Thomas in the act of scoring, but it was before the try line and it won't be a penalty try. He's going to say it's a penalty to Sheffield, 10 out from the line, so a bit of a jittery, nervous start for the Bulls. Thus far, they've kept the line intact, but it's more pressure that the Eagles are going to put on the Bulls, and once again, it's quickly taken there by Brown. Brown gives it to Mexico. Mexico brought down by Moore, just to the right-hand side of the sticks. Wheeldon's knocks the ball on tackle number 2, Evan Hodgson and Oscar Thomas in a 2-man tackle, and the referee will pack the scrum down. 10 out from the Bradford line. We've had exactly 4 minutes gone. The Bulls have done a lot of defending thus far. The Providence scoreboard says Eagles 0, Bulls 0.
The problem between the two sides, and we alluded to it in the commentary, is the physics that Liam Price talked about. And basically, the young, smaller bodies of the Bradford Bulls can't put the Sheffield players or roll them over onto the back. So what's happening is Sheffield getting a good fast play of the ball. 1, 2, 3, bang. 1, 2, 3, bang. The ball's coming out to the run into the gap, and Bradford Bulls having to scramble back in defence. And the power of it and the speed of it, it just pushed them back and back time and time again. They've now got the ball, the Bradford Bulls. Now they've got to put some pressure on Sheffield.
3 tackles gone. Out of dummy half from Price to Thomas. Thomas to Oakes. Oakes caught across the face, missed by the officials. The Bull supporters in front of our commentary position, they were certainly unhappy with the way that tackle coming from Will Hope, but play continues. Here goes Magrin, 10 metres inside the Sheffield half. It is the last tackle. The Bulls have got 60 metres more to Keys. Keys is going to put Gary Lowe under pressure, but Lowe takes it from the clouds and he's wrapped up 5 out from his own line, and he's brought down by Colton Roach and James Mendeka in a 2-man tackle. Out of dummy half they're going to go with Ryan Miller. Miller makes 10 metres forward. They're still inside their own 20. It goes to Menzi Yeri. Yeri, 3 tackles gone. They're just on their own 20. Good defence from the Bulls. Scott Moore and Colton Roach in a 2-man tackle. Kirk comes in and makes it free, and the 15 shy of the halfway line on tackle number 4. Flat looking pass out of dummy half from Fozzard to Scott, and he's going to be brought down just shy of the halfway line. So Sheffield on the last tackle, they're going to go in a dummy half to Simon Brown, the former Batley man. He floats it downfield, picked up cleanly by Thomas. 10 out from his own line, looks to draw that imaginary line to get past the Sheffield defenders, but he's crash bang flattened there by Fozzard, and James in a 2-man tackle, and out of dummy half Ethan Ryan, very pedestrian like, will just ease a little bit of pressure off the Bulls, and he'll take the ball up to the Bradford 40 and wins the Bulls' first penalty of the afternoon. Referee Tom Grant keen on the penalties. 3 penalties already, 6 gone. This for Sheffield holding down in the tackle. Joe Keys finds touch. 30 out from the Sheffield line, so Bradford are going to have their best spell of pressure in the opening exchanges here. Crucial match. The Bulls know victory will take them from -2 2-0. Hodgson on tackle number 1, brought down by Hope and Scott. Out of dummy half from Moore. Moore across the line to Kirk. Kirk to Hallis, and the Leeds youngster is brought down 15 shy, centre field. Moore once again gives it there to Roach. Roach charging onto the ball, makes metres forward. 5 out from that Sheffield try line. Moore in at dummy half to Hodgson, to Hallis. Hallis is going to try and pinch one. He's held up over the line. They'll go back to the 10, and it will be a play the ball for the Bulls. 7 minutes gone, no score. You potentially feel the Bulls could open the scoring here. They'll play the ball. 10 out on tackle number 4. Scott Moore, pirouetting run. Maisie, Daisy gives it there to Thomas. Thomas now jinxing to the line. Is immediately wrapped up there by Miller and Hope in a 2-man tackle. This is the last. 5 out from the line. Keys, crossfield kick, looking for Johnny Campbell. Johnny Campbell takes an airstring of it. It's gone over the dead ball line. It's a tap on the 20. The danger averted. Inches away from collecting. That was Johnny Campbell, and it will be a tap on the 20. 8 minutes gone. Eagles 0, Bulls 0 on the Providence scoreboard, Hubbard.
Yeah, so far so good for the Bradford Bulls. They are playing that a little bit better, but it is interesting. They're playing a little bit east to west, and they've got to do it because the pack simply isn't punching holes around either side of the Sheffield defenders, the A&B defenders. The physicality you can see already is that a little bit too much for them. But the way they're shifting the ball, the way they're thinking about it, the last tackle option with a kick there was better. Then it gives the Bradford Bulls a chance. But I do feel the need a couple of tries advantage, because I always think this is a bit of a slope here at Wakefield.
Sheffield then, it was a 7-tackle set. They've got 2 tackles remaining. They're inside the Bradford half, 30 metres out. Out of dummy half from Fozzard to Wielden. Wielden's going to be wrapped up. This is indeed the 5th and last. They're 20 shy of the Bradford line in centre field. It goes to Brown. Brown, crossfield kick, taken there by Thomas, and Thomas will turn defence into attack, and it's a second penalty of the afternoon for the Bulls. The Eagles chasers, kick chasers inside the 10, and the penalty count is locked up at 2 penalties apiece. So the penalty awarded to the Bulls, 10 out from their own line. Joe Keys probes one into the main stand. It hits the roof, ricochets down, and it goes into the arms of Ethan Ryan, who will pass it infield to Oakes. Oakes will tap it 10 shy of halfway, and immediately charging onto the ball is the youngster Evan Hodgson in his 5th game of the season for the Bulls since making his debut in that Challenge Cup loss to Featherstone. Out of dummy half there to Kirk. Kirk takes the Bulls 5 metres into the Sheffield half as it goes to Magrin. Magrin back there to Keys. Keys with the dancing feet, wrapped up in centre field. What is the options there from Scott Morse? Moore to Hallis. Hallis is flattened. Stood up in the tackle there. Mexico came in. 4th tackle gone. They're going to kick early in the count. Keys over on the far stand side, looking to turn around Miller and Lowe. Lowe takes it. and he's brought down there by Keys and Ross Oakes. So Sheffield will play the ball 2 metres in from their own try line, although there's going to be a little bit of a break here as it goes out to Liam Johnston. Johnston finds the support of Blackmore. Blackmore's got open field. He's got Ethan Ryan and Johnny Campbell. He's bamboozled and out Foxton both. He's still going. Finds the support from Miller. That kick from Joe Keys has cost the Bulls opening points here as Sheffield go 100 metres on the restart, and that was feeble defence from the Bradford Bulls. A comedy of errors. Eagles 4, Bulls no score.
The fans aren't going to like me for saying this, but if you were coaching under 15s in the tackle like that, you'd make them go around the pitch 3 times, because that should never have happened. And it was Pattercake, Baker's man, trying to tap upstairs, trying to have a go, not committing themselves, frightened a little bit, and Sheffield just broke way through Blackmore, jinked and turned left and right, went 30 metres, 40 metres. Bradford Bull's shape was out of kilter, and he just played with them, and there was support play from Sheffield Eagles at pace, and pure defensive errors. That's all it was. Nothing away from Sheffield. They ran well. Blackmore backed himself as only he would, but if you defend like that, then I'm afraid you've got big problems.
Well, the Bulls, Hobbo, as Simon Brown will attempt the conversion attempt, have obviously identified Menzieri and Gary Lowe on that right edge as weak spots, but thus far the free kicks from Keys have all been dealt with by Lowe or Yeri, and as we've just seen there, the break come from Liam Johnson, and it was his break that caused the pandemonium, and as we said, Blackmore to Miller, and then Miller underneath the sticks. Brown will attempt the conversion attempt in front, no mistake, an extra 2. Sheffield 6, Bradford 0, 11 minutes gone.
The problems that with Joe Keys' kicking, I'm not blaming Joe Keys for that try at all, but there've been lobs, there've been lightweight lobs into the air. A lightweight lob into your breadbasket is easy to take. When you put a kick in, unless there's a big gap, you can see the winger run onto the ball. A lob's no good. The ball has got to be spun and go high up in the air to give you a chance to get into the defender's face and knock him around. And those little lightweight lobs have been fielded all day long, and they've got the firepower of the Sheffield Eagles to turn defence into attack very, very quickly.
On the restart, it goes from Keys into the arms of Brown, who added the conversion attempt. He gives it to Wheeldon, and he's brought down just outside his own 20, and it goes to Johnston, and Johnson will give it to Hope, and the second row forward brought down by Hodgson and Hallis in a 2-man tackle. Certainly fast and furious here at Bellevue. The Bulls trailing 6-0 on the Providence scoreboard. 12 minutes gone as Mark Mexico takes the Eagles 2 metres inside the Bradford half, wins the penalty, and it is going to be John Magreen and the youngster Evan Hodgson that have been pinged by referee Tom Grant. 3-2 the penalties, this one awarded 40 out from the Bradford line.
Mark Mexico there's old man the referee, I think, and his old man Bradford as well. And the Bradford are going to think about that. They're going to get in defence that little bit quicker, back in defence that little bit quicker. But when you're thinking about putting a big hit on Mick, and physically the opponents are bigger than you do think twice, and that's when you get caught offside, which they did there.
The Bulls more defending to do then. 13 gone, and it goes out a dummy half from Wheeldon. Wheeldon to Mexico. Mexico brought down 10 out from the Bradford line in a tackle there by Kirk and Moore. It is with Brown. Brown gives it to Minchella. Minchella has managed to reach out and score, and it's another try for the Sheffield Eagles, and it is Sheffield 10, Bradford 0. Back-to-back tries, ill-discipline costing the Bulls dearly there. Jeff Tuvey on the fast-hand side, speeding feathers.
I feel sorry for Jeff Tuvey because it's very difficult as a coach to coach players to have heart. You know, you either got out or you haven't, but we've got a very mediocre Sheffield Eagles side here who are running ragged, a Bradford Bulls side who I've got to say this, they actually shouldn't be on the field. They're too lightweight, they're not physically strong enough. Now they've got to be on the field, they're doing the best, they're only kids. I feel so sorry for them because physically this is a mismatch. This is an absolute mismatch. The big Sheffield players are running through them it's like running through tissue paper, and that's sad when that happens.
That's the 74th try of the season the Bulls have conceded, and the maths is pretty grim. The defensive frailties of the Bulls, they're currently conceding 32.6 points per match, and when you factor in the high error rate of 156 errors from 14 games, if we include the Challenge Cup game against Featherstone, that's almost 12 errors a match, and you can see just how hard it is for Jeff Tuvey to work with the resources that he's got. Simon Brown then will attempt the conversion attempt. Tain to the left of the stick, strikes in, the touch judges flag say it's good, and it is the Sheffield Eagles who lead the Bradford Bulls 12 points to 0 on the Providence scoreboard. 12-0, 15 gone.
Big ask today for the Bradford Bulls, and heart-wrenching to watch, because rugby league is a physical game. You can have all the talent in the world, but you've got to man up physically, and I don't mean that in any disrespectful way, but they just don't seem to hold this Sheffield Eagles side. They're walking through the tackles, they're getting 50, 60 metres with their sets, and they're running up this slight slope at Bellevue as well.
The restart taken there by Brown, once again to Wheeldon. Wheeldon brought down by Moore and Magrin. 15 out from his own try line. Fozzard in at dummy half. Gives it along the line, and it is with Gary Lowe, and he's going to be brought down just outside his own 20. Just coming on the field for the Eagles is Greg Burns with the black scrum cap, and he's going to give Matty Fozzard a breather, and he's now in at dummy half as Sheffield come towards the halfway line. Roach, Magrin, Campbell and Kirk bringing down Will Hope, and they've just gone inside the Bradford half as he offloaded the ball there to Lowe, so Lowe will get to his feet, 40 out from the Bradford line, and play the ball just to the left of centre field. This will be the fifth and last tackle. There's options to the left and right. They're going on the blind side. Simon Brown's just going to boot one into the dry, dusty surface here, and that goes over the far stand touchline, and it will be a scrum feed, head and feed to the Bulls. Game management there from Simon Brown. Mark, realising that both Mendeka and Campbell were out of position.
Yes.
And that will ask the Bulls to go 90 metres with his scrum, and maybe the Eagles will try and hunt the error.
Absolutely spot on. He looked up, did Simon Brown. You could see him physically look. He saw Mendeka and Campbell out of place. He's dribbled it into touch very, very simply. And like you say, they've now got 90 minutes to come if they want to get anywhere near the try line at the other end. And it's quite simple when you can see that your opponents are not quite structured and shaped as they should be. And it's not going to be an easy day at the office today. And
well, from the scrum, while Hobbo was describing it's not going to be an easy day at the office, the Bulls don't even get to one tackle because Colton Roach turning the tackle by Mark Mexico and number 11 Matt James, and Colton Roach has spilled the ball, and trailing 12 points to 0 with 16 minutes gone. The Bulls now have got a full set to defend, 30 out from their own line. As we said, it is almost like architects of their own downfall. Taken out by Burns. The referee, a bit of petulance, puts whistle to lips. There's a bit of pushing and shoving there in the scrum. They will pack it down again just to the left of centre field. Burns takes it out along the line to Johnson. Johnson brought down there by Hodgson and Hallis. Tackle number 1 for the Eagles. The 20 out now goes from Burns down the middle to Mark Mexico, and Mexico takes the Eagles inside the Bradford 10. He's appealing for a penalty, not forthcoming. Burns along the line to Brown. Brown gives it to Sam Scott. Can he reach down and score? No, he can't. He's brought down a metre shy of the line. 10 to the left-hand side of the post. Burns in at dummy half. Floats it out to Miller. Miller looks for Yeri. It's kicked forward by Johnny Campbell. Was Johnny Campbell being held back? Yes, he was. The officials have missed that. That's why the Bull supporters in front of us are on the feet, but the Bulls are going to have to play to the whistle. It's a fresh set of 6. He's wiped the tackle count clear. And it goes out to Wheeldon, and Wheeldon's brought down. 15 out from the Bulls line. Burns, short pass, crashed onto by Mexico. Mexico is brought down by Thomas, just underneath the sticks, a metre out. Burns, will it show and go? No, he won't. He'll float it out to Brown, to Miller. Miller on the angle. Tenacious tackling there from Joe Keys, and this is tackle number 4 coming up for the Eagles. There's still a metre out from the line, and it goes to Burns, to Wheeldon. Wheeldon will get the 3rd try of the afternoon for the Sheffield Eagles, but the touch judge stands his ground, and the referee says forward pass, respite for the Bulls. 18 minutes gone, Providence scoreboard, Eagles 12, Bulls 0.
Well, the Bulls need to get some air in their lungs, and need to get some instruction on from Tuvey, because just at this moment in time they are really under the cosh. The troops are coming over the top, and they're not getting bullets in the guns to stop it. Somebody's going to take over the game manage it, get it by the scruff of the neck. But unless you get some big runs down the central channel and get into the ribs of your opponent forwards, you can't pass it along the line, east to west, too far upfield. It won't work. And we've got to man up in the middle of the field and get some big runs in and gets some big hits. And I'd bring Cara on and maybe get him to help out the forwards that little bit because of his bulk. Because that's what it is. It's bulk and power that's beating us.
From the scrum, it goes out towards Ross Oakes, and Ross Oakes has come off worse in a collision there with Sam Scott, and Matt James also in the tackle. And it looks to have been a little bit of discomfort there, does Ross Oakes. The touch judge has come on. Liam Price just had a quick word in the ear of the referee to see if there perhaps was any pressure applied on the foot, but Tom Grant of Dewsbury just gets no confirmation from the touch judge, so Ross Oakes just has the physio attending to his right knee. The last thing the Bulls need is any more injuries, certainly thin on numbers in 2017. We've yet to see either Brooks or Chapelhow come on. I'm sure they'll be coming on very shortly, and it will be Ross Oakes who gets to his feet, thankfully for the Bulls, and he'll play the ball 25 out from his own line, and Scott Moore is just waiting in there at dummy half. And come off the hour, come off the man. Here is Sam Brooks, the Scottish international, played against England and Australia in the Four Nations, so he's on making his debut, and he makes 10 metres forward, and they're going to win a penalty, the Bulls. Penalty count 3 apiece. Sheffield just a little bit eager, racing out of that defensive line, and it is a penalty awarded on the halfway line.
Well done to Scott Moore, Mick, because he did the same thing back to Mark Mexico that Mark Mexico has done to us on several occasions. So very clever play from Scott Moore there.
Quickly tapped, 30 out from the Eagles line by Mendake to Campbell. Campbell brought down, 15 out. Quick play the ball, Keys in at dummy half. Brought down there by Menzieri, and he's brought down 5 out from the Sheffield line. 10 in from the far stand side. Across the face of the post they go. It is going to be Chapelhow who's also on now for added impact, and he's brought down in a 3-man tackle. A metre shy of the line, out of dummy half. Moore, Price, Thomas to Ryan! Ethan Ryan in the corner!
No, the referee said that the touch was going to flag up.
He's put the flag up, and the try will not count. It remains Sheffield 12, Bradford 0. That was touch and go. We've already seen Ethan Ryan score an absolute perler against the Batley Bulldogs earlier on in the season, showing tremendous awareness there. If there was a video referee, Hobbo would put the square in the air and we'd marvel at that on the big screen. Unfortunately, the touch judge says no. That certainly looked good from my view, and it remains Sheffield 12, Bulls 0. Scrum to the Eagles, 10 out from their own line.
Well, to be fair, I thought it looked good as well, and I thought the touch was too far behind. He doesn't look in the flush of youth, does he, bless him? So I'm not too sure he was right there, but there you go. In fact, he's struggling running, let alone, my goodness, when the Rugby League going to get a grip of this? When the Rugby League going to get some proper ex-players officiating at games who know what they're doing? It's like a comedy of errors.
Out of dummy half from Burns to Yeri, and the P&G centre stroke utility forward is wrapped up 20 shy of halfway, but this is good defence from the Bulls. The Eagles have lost it in the tackle. It's kicked forward by Brooks. It'll be 6 again, and it's picked up by Lowe on his own try line, and now he will go herring forward, and he's brought down by Joe Keys just outside his own 20, picked up by Menzieri, and they'll make an extra 10 metres forward, and the 15 shy of the halfway line on this, which will be the first tackle. So not exactly sure how that ball come out in that tackle, but fair play to Sam Brooks. He was quickest to react and kicked it towards the Eagles line. Unfortunately, Gary Lowe beat him in the front lace, and now the Eagles have knocked the ball on in a big collision by Brooks and Colton Roach. It was Scott Reelden who come up with the error. That's the 4th error from the Eagles. Scrum to the Bulls on the halfway line. Big impact. We've just seen a huge uplift in the Bulls' fortunes, Hobbo. We've had 22 minutes gone. They still trail 12-0. But Brooks and Chapel out there, physical and getting stuck in.
Well, that's right. Chapelhow, I've just watched him come on and he's put his body on the line. He's attracted 3 or 4 Sheffield defenders in him. He's a big unit, and that's what it's all about. You know, this game's retrievable. The Bulls need to throw the ball around. I think the Bulls have the edge in the 3 quarters in terms of the youth and the speed. They've just got to be able to get in a good position to do something about it. But giving 12 points away very, very early and very cheaply has not done them any favours.
Scrum to the Bulls on the halfway line. 18 minutes to go to half time. If you're just joining us, Mick Liddell, Mark Hobson, BCB 106.6 FM. Early scores from Miller and Scott for the Eagles. 2 from 2 from Brown. They lead 12-0, but from the scrum, it's going to be Hallis on tackle number 1. Moore to Hodgson. Hodgson brought down 15 metres inside the Eagles' half. 35 out. Gets up, plays the ball. Moore tries to show and go himself. Gives it to Keys. Keys on the run around to Thomas. Thomas floats it out to Campbell. Campbell picks it up and goes forward, and he's crashed down there by Menziere. There's pushing and shoving at the play the ball. Play on is the call as it goes back down this middle channel, and this is going to be Sam Brooks really getting stuck in, the Scottish international. Gets to his feet. Here goes Chapelhow. Offloads the ball in the tackle to Price. Price to Thomas. Thomas brought down by James. Tackle number 4 coming up. The Bulls 10 out from the line. It goes to Chapelhow. It goes to Hallis. Hallis towards the line. And the referee's going to say it was the last tackle. It was a late call there. And Hallis is just brought down on top of the line. And Ryan Miller, the Eagles fullback, literally twisting his body in the tackle to prevent the Leeds Rhinos low knee touching that ball down, and Sheffield take an eternity to get to the feet to play the ball. It is going to be Burns out of dummy half. He's lost the ball, but referee Tom Grant gives Sheffield a penalty, and he's going to say it's a penalty for reefing the ball out. Well, the decision's going against the Bulls.
If that's a penalty for reefing out, then I'm a Dutchman. I watched the guy in the car park, and he looked like somebody from Harry Potter's Hogwarts. He looked about 13. Now, he's obviously not 13. That's poor refereeing. That is poor referee. You don't need it. He wasn't watching. He's got that completely wrong.
Bradford backed up on the halfway line as the Eagles surge forward. And it is that man there. Gary Lowe gets to his feet, plays the ball. Burns in at dummy half over on the far stand side. It goes to Wheeldon. Wheeldon brought down in a 2-man tackle. Chapelhow in there, so too with Mendeka. And they're going to move the ball with Trout, the former Wakefield and Dewsbury man. And he's going to be brought down just 30 out from the Bradford line. 2 tackles remaining in this set. Ben Blackmore goes in at dummy half. And he's going to give it there to Scott. Scott surging forward. But Price grapples with him in centre field. And he's brought down on tackle number 4 just outside the 20. Burns goes past Thomas. Chapelhow comes in at the side with Scott Moore and brings him down on the last tackle. 5 out from the Bradford line, trailing 12-0. It goes to Brown. Brown out to Scott. Scott trying to touch down. Can he reach out and score? No, he can't. He's lost the ball. Mendeka come in and brought him down, latched onto him like a magnet, and it will be a play the ball for the Bradford Bulls. A metre out from their own try line. They're still trailing 12-0, but certainly there's been an uplift since Brooks and Chapelhow have come on the field. And now there's messing around at the play the ball, and the penalty count is locked up at 4 penalties apiece. This one awarded to the Bulls, 10 out from their own line. Hobbo, a chance to move upfield.
Well, the Bulls need some points quickly because the clock's ticking away to half time, and the Bulls are only going to win this game, I think, Michael, by good passing play and good support play. They're not going to win it up front, although Chapelhow and the other guy that's come on have done a great job in knocking the six out of the stuffing out of Sheffield, and making them think now. Sheffield having to think about what they're going to do when tackling the Bulls forward. But they need some points very quickly before half-time.
Moore out of dummy half to Brooks. Brooks makes 15 metres forward. Bradford 35 out from the Eagles line as they float it out to Keys. Keys to Mendeka. Mendeka is tracked there by Brown. Tries to pass the ball to Campbell on his outside, and the ball has gone into touch. That is error number 4 for the Bradford Bulls. It's just not happening this afternoon. The sun peaks behind the clouds. We've had 26 minutes gone. Providence scoreboard, Eagles 12, Bulls 0.
Brooks and Chapelhow making an impact since they've come, which tells you a story, as I say. I was looking at the body language of Jeff Tuvey and kicking the dust there in the dugout, and the instructions coming on from Mark Dunn. I can't help but think that Jeff Tuvey must be wondering, what do I do with this? Because it's very, very difficult when you lack experience and physicality, and there's not a great deal you can do about it. So all you can do is coach the mistakes out of these Bulls and teach them how to learn. They will learn, and they'll learn from every game in defeat, but it's the here and now that really matters for everybody, and they've got to try and get some points very, very quickly.
I think both coaches will be a little bit disappointed with the amount of errors and penalties on show, but from the scrum, Sheffield move it towards its main stand side. It goes out of dummy half from Burns. Burns to Blackmore, who opened the scoring for the Eagles in the 10th minute, and it goes back to Johnston. Johnston surging forward once more, brought down by Hallis in a one-man tackle, ball and all, out of dummy half, and this is good one-man rugby from the Eagles. Blackmore takes it in to Price, and he's offloaded it in the tackle to Burns, but Burns can't get past Hodson, who wrestles him down by the shirt collar. Tackle number 4 for the Eagles, and they are literally 10 metres out from that Bradford Bulls try line. It's centre field. Burns out of dummy half, fires it across to Brown. Brown to Yeri. Yeri tries to keep it alive, which he does. It's with Miller. Miller along the floor. Back it goes to Brown. Brown, hospital pass. It's missed by James. It's picked up by Price. The referee, though, is going to say knock on. Is this going the Bulls' favour? It's going to the Eagles. Oh, he's going to say Leon Price. As Sheffield were throwing the ball around in an expansive style, he's going to say Price has knocked it on, and it's given the Eagles a repeat set, 10 out from the Bulls line.
But surely that was first knock-on, Mick, to Sheffield.
Well, the pass from James did go along the floor. It's difficult to call from our commentary position. We're right in the corner, so it's about 60 metres away, and it is a lowly elevated position. But the referee stopped the clock. Leon's just down with what looks to be a knee injury to the left knee.
Well, his knee's not so good as it is, but I think you're going to lose knee in the back or in the head somewhere. And I think Leon very cleverly will take a bit of time with that because, and rightly so, and we'll get a bit of message on from Tuvey and they'll get a bit of water in the Bulls. The clock should be stopped in the Bulls players' bellies, but the structure from Sheffield that little bit better than it is from Bradford, and the support play from them that little bit better as well.
Well, the scrum took an eternity to be formed, but it finally is. And time back on. We've got 13 minutes to go to half-time as it goes from Burns once again to Trout, and Trout's wrapped up on his back. 5 out from that Bradford line. Scott Moore coming in defence. Trout plays the ball. Burns to Brown. Brown trying to get past Chapelhow and Brooks. No, he can't. He's turned on his back once more, and that is the second tackle of this repeat set for the Eagles. Leading 12-0. The Bulls need to keep them out. It goes back there to Fozzard. Matty Fozzard surging to the line. He's brought down on his knees, a metre out. Hodgson in there with the tackle. Short pass. Out of dummy half from Burns. The Eagles are over again. It's a third try in the opening 30 minutes here. Mark Aston's side enjoying themselves this afternoon. They're capitalising on the Bulls' errors, the Bulls in discipline, and they now lead 16 points to 0. A great bullet pass out of dummy half, and it is the former Hulkiston Rovers prop forward Scott Wheeldon who has try number 3 for the Eagles.
Well, Mark Ashton will be delighted because the Sheffield Eagles are pawing Bradford Bulls. Bradford Bulls are like a little mouse with a cat. The cat's got its paw on the mouse and it's playing with them, and that's exactly what's happening. The shape and structure is better because they're physically stronger and more aggressive. So Bradford Bulls having to think about what to do all the time. They're wondering whether to move the line quickly. They're like a rabbit caught in the headlights, and therefore there's defensive frailties. When you've got defensive frailties, you get somebody runs into a gap to a bullet pass. It was a beautiful bullet pass to the left-hand side into the bread basket of Scott Whelan. He trotted over. There was nobody there to stop him. So it is very, 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 very difficult for the Bradford Bulls, and they've got to work hard to get back into this game.
Simon Brown will attempt the conversion. 3 from 3 last week in their narrow defeat away at Featherstone. This one straight in front, and it is the Sheffield Eagles 18, the Bradford Bulls 0 on the Providence scoreboard. 10 minutes to go to half-time. The Bulls did take Sheffield into a bit of an arm wrestle. We had no score for 15 minutes. That attributed to the impact of Brooks and Chapelhow. But as we've said time and time again this season, it's no good the forwards or the backs doing the hard yards forward if you're going to come up with a dumb play and add to your error count. The restart delayed while Ross Oakes is down in back play. Just the physio tending to that right ankle. But Mark, that try, as we said, Sheffield a metre shy of the line. It was straightforward, a bullet pass. Wheeldon catches it and he's over the line.
Yeah, I'm not going to be rude to Sheffield. They're only a mediocre side making the championship, and the mechanisms look very poor. We've no go forward from scrum half with Joe Keithley at all whatsoever. That is just not happening. The forwards aren't penetrating and punching holes in the Sheffield defence. The three quarters aren't getting clean ball. And I find it difficult to see where a win's going to come from today, quite frankly. And this is against a side who are only in the middle of the table. So it tells you that the deficiencies that we've got in the team that we need to put right straight away. I think what they've got to do is at half-time almost imagine it's 0-0 if they can do that and come out and play for some respectability. As I say, you know, people coming and going every week is making it very, very difficult. It's very, very hard to watch a side that is trying but just can't compete at this physical level.
Ross Oakes led from the field by the physio, so on will come Ilias McCartney. Remains to be seen if Ross Oakes will play any further part, but he's certainly going to have a breather, and he'll be seen by the Bradford Bulls physio and doctor in the dugout. We're back underway, Keys with a restart, and it's up to the Eagles 20-metre mark by Liam Johnson. Second tackle by Cox, and Cox is brought down just 25 out from his own try line. Burns out a dummy half to James. James is brought down in a two-man tackle there by Brooks and Hodgson, and Matt James is going to be the play's going to be brought back because the referee is going to say Matt James
crossing.
No, he's going to say knocked on at dummy half.
Did he knock on? Well, he crossed as well, Mickey. There was some shepherding going on there, so it was a bit of both. I didn't see the knock on.
Crucially, scrum to the Bulls, falling out from the Eagles line. Can the Bulls get some much-needed points? Intelligent rugby league. Just keep it calm and composed. There's no need to come up with these needless errors that have plagued them all season long. Captain Leon Price, who we heard from before the game, will put the ball in. It's taken out there by Moore. Moore immediately gives it there to Hallis, who's having an eventful afternoon. A lot of work there from the Leeds youngster. Out of dummy half, it's a flick on pass there to Brooks, and Brooks takes the Bulls 20 shy of the Eagles line. Moore down the middle to Chapelhow, and Chapelhow, 21 years of age, 5 appearances for Widnes, takes the Bulls 10 out. The Bulls have got a bit of a spurt on. It goes from Moore to Price. Price towards the line, looks for support. There's none there, so he'll take the tackle. 2 shy of the line. Moore charges over from dummy half. He's held up on his back. A metre shy. 10 to the left of the sticks on the last tackle. Out of dummy half from Price. Scoops it to Keys. Along the line to Thomas. Thomas's kick was looking to send in Mendeka or Campbell, but it was taken by Menzieri, and Sheffield have the ball back. 10 out from their own try line. 8 minutes to go. The Eagles have ball in hand. It's going to be Gary Lowe gets to his feet. Fozzard to Wielden. One of the 3 Eagles try scorers in this first half, and he's turned on his back on his own 20. Burns now in at dummy half, gives it to Trout. Trout tunnels it forward, and in comes Magrin, Brooks and Chapelhow. 3 Bulls defenders there, and this is tackle number 4 for the Eagles. They're still 15 shy of the halfway line as Jordan Cox loses the ball in the tackle. It's gone backwards, so play continues. It's picked up by Miller, and Miller will take the Eagles 2 metres inside the Bradford half. It's the last tackle. It's a messy play, the ball. Gary Lowe grubbers forward, kicks it on. It's knocked on by Gary Lowe. 20 out from the Bulls line, and here goes Campbell on the 0 tackle, turning defence into attack, and he's clattered there by Will Hope. Gets to his feet rather gingerly. The Bulls are up to the halfway line on tackle number 1 via McCartney. Here goes Thomas. Thomas to Ethan Ryan. Ryan makes 10 metres forward. 38 out from the Eagles line. 7 minutes to go in this first half as it goes to Chapelhow. Chapelhow to Price. Price finds the support of Magrin down the middle. The 20 out. They're inside the Eagles 20. Thomas to Keys. Keys absolutely flattened there by Mark Mexico, and he'll feel that one in the morning. He gets to his feet just to the right hand side of the post. They're still 10 metres out as it goes from Thomas. Thomas lays it on a plate to Magrin, and Magrin will take 3 Eagles defenders out of that defensive line. They're 5 metres out from the sticks. It is the last tackle. Crossfield flick from Keys. It's been taken there by Gary Lowe, and here goes Gary Lowe turning defence into attack. Can he go 90 metres? Johnny Campbell attacks the legs and brings down Gary Lowe. He stood up looking to offload. No one is there, and if McCartney comes in for good measure, Campbell's hurt in the process, but a try-saving tackle nonetheless. The danger not over for the Bulls. They're floating out to Johnston. Johnston doesn't need an invitation. He will skip past Ryan and Price, and the Eagles have try number 4, and it's going from bad to worse for Jeff Tuvey's side here at Bellevue. It's the Eagles 22, the Bulls 0. Credit and effort there from Campbell, who try-saved the tackle on Gary Lowe, but the Bulls were always scrambling, and in the end the Eagles just had numbers out wide, and in and around goes Johnston, 15 to the right of the sticks. Well, that was quite calamitous, Hobbo, because Keys, the kicking was absolute garbage.
The kicking from Joe Keys is abysmal. It's like watching an 8-year-old kick a rugby league ball. He lobs it into the... I don't know where he's looking when he's kicking it. Just straight into the hands of the opponents, and just there you go. And it's very difficult today to explain what's going on. Physically and mentally, the Bulls are just getting ripped apart by what I perceive to be a very average rugby league team, quite frankly. With all due respect to Mark Aston's team. And, the only thing I can say is they've got to work hard. This game's finished. They're not going to win this game playing like they are today. It's terrible. And, it lacks cohesion. It lacks passion. Dennis Choddle, God bless him, once said to me many years ago when I was a young man, don't go on a rugby field if it isn't in your heart. I'll leave it at that.
Hobbo clearly questioning if the Bulls have the heart this afternoon. Well, from my own observations, Joe Keys has kicked now 6 times, looking to catch out Lowe and Yeri. They've obviously done the moving training, a crossfield a la Aussie rules type kick, looking for Campbell or Mendeka, and each time Lowe and Yeri have averted the danger. Simon Brown, 10 to the right of the sticks, over the black dot, that will sail. 4 from 4 attempts, 4 tries, and it is Eagles 24, Bulls 0, 5 minutes to go to half time. And, I'm speechless, Mark, in that the Bulls are using the same tactic that is not effective.
Well,
why isn't the message coming on from Tuvey or Dunning to change the tactics?
This is a team that beat Sheffield Eagles at home. You've got to question the interpretation of the message coming on. And I think Bradford Bulls need some help in the coaching area, but that's another story. But I think that quite frankly, we beat Sheffield at Odsall on a different day, different structures, with the half-backs dictating it a little bit. But physically we're better that day. It's hard. It's very hard for them, and it's the hardest thing in the world to say what we're saying. But, it is. That's what it is. That's what's happening out there. And, people don't like that type of spin, but it's no good saying any other, because that's what it is. Look at Sheffield again, the third tackle. They're now 60 metres upfield, just walking through with the Bradford Bulls like paper.
Sheffield 40 out from that Bradford Bulls try line. Perry Whitley on for Mark Aston's side. This will be the last tackle. 30 out on the last. Simon Brown takes the ball from Burns at dummy half, and he just puts one behind the Bulls defensive line of James Mendeka, Johnny Campbell and Oscar Thomas, and finds touch. 10 out from the Bulls line. It will be head and feet to the Bulls. Just looking at the body language of the Bulls, they do look defeated. There's no real rush or energy to form the scrum. They're very pedestrian.
Yeah, the mentality's gone. You can see them out there. What do we do? It's sad to see it. It's very, very sad to see it.
So from the scrum, Joe Keys will attempt to take the Bulls upfield. Keys, Hallis, McCarney. McCarney is brought down just outside his own 20 in centre field. It goes to Roach. Second tackle gone for the Bulls. The former Featherstone man brought down just outside the 20. Now here come the Bulls as it goes out to Magrin, and he's going to be wrapped up. And they're going to get to the feet. Just 20 out from the halfway line. Hallis to Thomas. Thomas tucks the ball in under the right arm, and once again he's brought down in a 2-man tackle, this time by Trout and Wielden. Mexico also in at the side. They're up to the halfway line as Price gives it there to Magrin. Magrin's brought down on the last tackle on his back, turning the tackle there by Burns and Whitley. The referee will stop the clock because he's down out cold there is John Magrin, and he's got a head injury. And the referee quick to put whistle to lips here. On comes the Bulls doctor and physio, and a bit of a concerning one.
Well, what happened there, I was watching that very closely, Mick. He hit the deck. It wasn't a particularly vicious tackle, but it was a very physical tackle. And his head bounced off the very hard turf here at the Bellevue ground. And I don't know if you've noticed during the game, Michael, that there's been dust flying up every time somebody's hit the deck that's coming off the boots. So it's a very hard surface out there, plenty of grass on it, but his head literally bounced off the turf as he went down. And let's hope he lost the ball straight away. Let's hope that that's not too serious. it's not too bad, and that the guy's all right, because you know one of the hardest things in the world of rugby league is to take the ball up, against a set of forwards coming at you. It takes bravery and it takes determination. And I was critical 5 minutes ago about heart and things like that, but there was no lack of heart there from the Bradford player, and it wasn't dirty, just hard physical tackle, and unfortunately his body position was all wrong, and his head bounced off the floor. He's getting up on two and sitting up straight. That's good.
Yeah,
That's very good.
John Magrin just assisted there by the club physio and the doctor. It will be the last tackle. Bradford up to the halfway line. If you're just joining us, with 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go to the half-time interval, and oh boy do the Bulls need it, trailing 24 points to 0 after tries from Miller, Scott, Wheeldon and Johnson. John Magrin back up to his feet. He'll be led from the field of play by the physio and the doctor. They're going to say that he's going to have to pass the head concussion test, so we might not see John Magrin this afternoon, but on comes James Davis, so a suitable replacement, and it will be the last tackle, and it will be the Bradford Bulls who will play the ball, and we'll certainly look to see what the Bulls can do. Referee Tom Grant just holding up play while Magrin just goes towards Jeff Tuvey and Lee Beattie in the dugouts on the far stand side. So whistle from Tom Grant, play back on out of dummy half from Hallis. Keys will send it straight downfield. Taken there by Miller. Miller 5 out from his own line, makes 30 metres forward and is brought down 20 shy of the halfway line. Gets to his feet, Burns, it goes to Whitley. Whitley wrapped up there by Chapel Howe, Brooks and Hallis. The 10 shy of the halfway line, and they're going to say that Chapel Howe has just laid on in the tackle, he's flopped. So the Eagles have their 5th penalty of the afternoon, and we've got 90 seconds remaining, and they're going to have a full set of 6, 40 out from the Bradford line. It's tapped there by Fozzard, knocked on by Cox, picked up by Davis. Davis to McCarney. McCarney's knocks the ball on. It will be the first knock on from Jordan Cox of the Eagles. The clock will be stopped. It was the free play for just a moment there when James Davis picked it up, and he went hairy towards the line before the red shirts of the Eagles come into view. He thought about the pass on the main stand side towards McCarney. McCarney couldn't take it in. Got to say, if McCarney takes it in, he's away in this corner and the Bulls are back in it. They're still going to have the ball back, unfortunately. 30 out from their own line and a minute and 15 remaining. Leon Price has ball in hand then. Scrum, centre of the field. The referee is making sure the Eagles have enough players in the scrum. Price takes it in. Out by Hallis. Keys to Ryan. Ryan looks to turn Johnson. Can't get past Burns and Cox. Gets to his feet. Plays the ball. Keys in at dummy half to McCarney. McCarney 5 metres inside the Sheffield Eagles half. Quick play the ball. Hallis to Price. Price to Davies. The Bulls have lost the ball, but it's gone backwards, says the referee. Not a clean slate on the tackle count. 40 seconds remaining. They're 35 out from the Eagles line. Sam Brooks takes them forward. Quick play the ball. Loses it. Penalty. He's going to say that Whitley and Hope pinched the ball in the tackle, and there's 30 seconds to go here. They're 25 out from the Eagles line. They're not going to go for 2 points. They're just going to calm it down. Leon Price says we'll try and go for 4 with 20 seconds to go. It's tapped there by Hallis and it's taken in there by Chapel Howe. Chapel Howe brought down in a 2-man tackle. They're just 15 out now from that Eagles try line. The hooter's going to sound on this next play the ball as Keys is wrapped up to the right hand side of the sticks. He needs to get up and play the ball. He does it just in time. Hallis out of dummy half to Price. Price taking the line on, finds the support of Moore. Moore along the line to Hodgson. Hodgson to the line. Was that a high tackle? It's on the shoulder. Hodgson's brought down by Blackmore. 2 metres shy of the line. The Bulls went for broke. They could have had an easy 2 points. And at half time here at Bellevue.
We run with the Bulls. We're all right. We run with the Bulls. And he's made up his mind. We're all right, go, 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 go. We got
words complaining, sophisticated pattern staining, mentally blind, clairbraining, understanding, producing. See, this is what we're choosing, simple life, complicated by losing. You hear my, you hear my, if you hear the war cry, you know where you are. You're watching us do battle, a daily dosage of pain, hurting a cattle crazy fools because I love this game.
We run with the bulls, we're alright. We run with the bulls, we're alright. We run with the bulls, we're alright. Alright. Together we can ride any storm. We run, there'll be thunder underfoot as we go. We run all for one and one for all. This is what we do every time we hear the call. We run with the bulls, we're alright. We run with the bulls, we're alright. We run with the bulls, we're alright. We run with the bulls, we're alright.
Well, this is BCB 106.6 FM, and this is coverage of the Bulls match down in Sheffield as they play the Sheffield Eagles. Unfortunately, we do have a slight loss in transmission. We will be joining the match shortly. They could just be a couple of minutes away from rejoining it. But until then, if you'd like to hear the Jasbir Atwell interview, where Bulls chairman Jasbir gave an exclusive update on the BCB Bulls following their exclusive update to BCB Bulls following their 60-4 defeat in Toulouse in France last week.
Well, we've now got Jasbir Atwell, Bradford Bulls chairman. You've held the position for 4 months. Jazz, just talk us through how it's gone.
Well, it's been quite interesting times. First, speaking just as a fan, which I have been for 35 years. I've watched it, played it, breathed it, lived it. And to be chairman of a club that you've grown up supporting is a big honour. But it's been challenging times, and Graham Lowe, Andrew Chalmers have saved our club, and it's a hard uphill battle, but we're still here and we're going to keep trying.
What are some of the difficulties that you've encountered in those 4 months?
Well, apart from not having a team and not having anything at all when we rocked up, we had to sign a lot of people. We had to renegotiate. A lot of the players were signed unseen by Andrew Chalmers and everything. Suffered with a bank account. We couldn't get a bank account. They made it so difficult. So all these little things were challenging, very challenging. And I know people, myself as well, look from outside thinking, oh, well, what are they doing, what are they doing? Everybody's been working so hard behind the scenes to get things over the line and get things sorted. But red tape, just hard work. It's very hard to open certain things when certain things have gone wrong previously.
The club's now got the bank account. What does that enable you to do in terms of the overseas visa applications?
Particularly about Jeff's visa, that went in. Now having a bank account, we can get a VAT number, then we can register a border agency licence, and that's taken so long. Jeff's visa's in, and it's really soon we should be able to say, here you go, Jeff, there it is. But it's just mechanisms that we're trying to get through, and it's making us jump through hoops, but we're very confident that Jeff very shortly should have his visa.
Jazz, we appreciate you giving us this update, the supporters this update. A lot of supporters feel a sense of disconnect at this moment in time. There's not been big fans forums like there has been under previous owners, Omar Khan and Mark Green. Is there any news you can offer the fans?
Without the best supporters, and I've watched and followed, like I said, for ages, and the Bradford Bulls fans are the best fans ever, and they've given so much support for this club. Yep. We are big shouters and chest bashers.
Well, welcome back here to Bellevue, and it has gone from bad to worse for the Bradford Bulls. We've just seen Matty Fozzard dart over from dummy half, and Simon Brown convert from in front, 5 from 5, and the Eagles now lead by 30 points to 0, and it is Sheffield with the ball over on the far stand side. James Davis in a one-man tackle, Burns out of dummy half, is going to go down the middle channel, and they're up to the halfway line on the restart are the Sheffield Eagles. It is Kyle Trout. Kyle Trout floats it there to Minchella. Minchella crossfield kick, looking for Yeri, but Campbell had his back, and Thomas will pick the ball up. Thomas looks to beat low, offloads the ball in the tackle to Campbell, and Campbell goes surging downfield, takes it up to the Bradford 30. Mendeka out of dummy half, wrapped up in a two-man tackle, led there by Scott and James. Hallis in that dummy half role now, gives it there to Davis, and Davis is brought down just shy of the halfway line. You'll be good to know that Colton Roach is out there doing the hard yards forward as it goes over on the far stand side, and that's going to be Ethan Ryan, taken down like a ragdoll there by the much bigger and larger Liam Johnson. As we said, Bradford just not winning this contest at all. A lot of muscle and effort from the Eagles. Bradford though 30 out from the Eagles line on the last tackle. Hallis to Keys. Keys high hanging testing kick for Miller. Mendeka takes it, and Mendeka scores the Bulls' first points, but the is going to disallow the try. He's going to say Mendeka was inside the 10 from the kick from Keys, and we thought at the 6th time of asking Hobbo it might come off, and it did, but unfortunately Mendeka ruled offside. That's the second try the Bulls have had disallowed, and the score remains Sheffield 30, Bradford 0, 32 minutes remaining.
Well, the Bradford Bulls persisting with that tactic of kicking the ball in the air, but like I said, it went a lot higher than that. It was better, because when it's a deck, when it comes down, it bounces in a better position for you, or a worse position for the opposition, more often than not. I think Mendeka can feel hard done by there, but we're about 70 metres away, Mick. He didn't look to be. He looked to be behind the kicker. Everything looked to be all right, but the referee's right on the spot, to be fair to him, and the try was disallowed. Now that would have given the Bulls some hope, some threads of hope, because they would have kicked that ball, the conversion, over the black dot. And it's not happened. The Bulls are now going to defend. Sheffield have got the ball back on the 10-metre mark.
Yeah, play still suspended. Ryan Miller, the Sheffield Eagles fullback, just getting attention from the physio and doctor. He took a knock in the tackle. Credit to James Mendeka, let the highest, leapt like a salmon, and touched it down. But we thought the Bulls were in the process of a miraculous comeback. In the end, they're being pinged for offside inside the 10, and that's Sheffield's 7th penalty in this match. So Mendeka and Ryan, tries disallowed by the officials. Sheffield leading 30 points to 0, and Bradford really need to up the game. They need to get back in this, and doing everything possible on the restart. See what Jeff Tuvey can crack the whip in the dressing room. Sheffield on tackle number 2 now as it goes to Sam Scott. Scott wrapped up, turning the tackle. Burns in at dummy half, finds Brown to Minchella wrapped up in a two-man tackle. Leon Price racing out of the defensive line there with Ethan Ryan. Burns picks the ball up 38 metres out from the Bradford line, and it goes out to Blackmore. Blackmore was going towards the line. Thomas had him covered. The officials, they've given one to the Bulls. They're going to say the pass out of dummy half from Burns to Blackmore. It was one of them boomerang style looping passes. It's just been adjudged forward. Respite relief for the Bulls. They'll have the scrum. 31 and 40 seconds remaining. Hobbo, is it game over? Can the Bulls get back into it?
I think the Bulls are going to try hard to get some respectability. I think as a 2-point contest, I think Sheffield have got the 2 points in the bag. I hope, as I say, that something just happens now and it turns the tide completely. But I think looking at the tactic, I don't think that's going to work today, what the Bulls are trying to employ. So it's back to the drawing board tomorrow morning. But they're playing now for respectability and for individual performances that will impress Jeff Tuvey.
From the scrum then, tackle number 1, taken in by James Davies. Davies 5 shy of the halfway line. Hallison at dummy half, along to Keys. Keys to Roach. Roach is wrapped up 2 metres inside the Sheffield half. There's still no sign of Magrin or Oakes coming back. So Bradford down to 12. Bradford down to 2 on the interchange bench as Oscar Thomas goes on a mazy little run, dragging that Sheffield left edge defence. Out of dummy half, it goes to Ryan. Ryan takes Bradford just shy of the Eagles 20, and this will be the last tackle. We've got exactly 30 minutes remaining in this one. The Bulls trailing 5 tries to 0 and 30-0 on the scoreboard. Thomas tries a crossfield kick. Campbell takes it, 20 out, immediately wrapped up there by Mark Mexico, offloads it to Mendeka. Mendeka just heading towards his main stand touchline, puts a kick through, picked up there by Miller, and Miller will turn defence into attack, and Sheffield have the ball back. 5 out from their own line, and he's wrapped up there is Ryan Miller by Davies and Hallis. It goes to Trout. Trout trundles it forward just outside the Eagles 10, and he's brought down there by Chapel-Howe and Brooks, who are still out there. Not quite the start of the one. Blackmore with the fend, goes past Thomas, offloads it to Fozzard. Danger here for the Bulls. Fozzard looks for support, finds Whitley. Whitley's brought down. 5 out from the Bradford line. In the blink of an eye, they've gone 60 metres forward. Whitley gets to his feet, plays the ball, and it's an easy try for the Eagles. Out of dummy half. It's their 6th of the afternoon, and that potentially is the game with still 29 minutes remaining, because that try takes the score. Sheffield Eagles 34, the Bradford Bulls 0, and I think it goes to say, Hobbo, there's got to be a bit of an inquest at the end of this, because trailing 24-0 at half time, the Bulls have allowed Manny Fozzard 2 quick, simple, easy tries, both just scrambling over from dummy half. Soft defence.
Out-muscled, out-thought, out-bullied, too big, too strong, not good enough. That's it. You won't win a rugby league game. Oh, everything's against them. Everything is against them today. And it's a massive job for Jeff Tuvey to get him back into the winning mode very, very quickly. We've played better than this earlier on in the season, so you can ask the question why that was. Well, slightly better players in certain key positions for me. But today, and losing is a mentality, and the mentality has gone. I don't think they've got self-belief. Looking at them there, the self-belief has gone in this game, and you would understand that because they're just not getting anywhere in any facet of the game whatsoever. So it's a very, very, very difficult day at the office for the Bradford Bulls. The only glimmer of hope you can glean from this is that it's more experience for the young people in a heavy defeat, and you learn sometimes more in defeat than you do in victory. But that won't make Tuvey and co feel any better. It certainly won't make a lot of the fans feel any better, and it isn't going to do the league position any good whatsoever. So if the Rugby League are going to have a meeting and ratify divisions of 1 and 2 in Super League, and franchise is going to come back, I just always say that Sheffield kick the game, then I hope it does. Because on this sort of performance, the Bradford Bulls ain't going anywhere.
Simon Brown converts from 10 metres in from the far stand side, adds the extra 2, 6 from 6. 6 tries to 0, Providence scoreboard. Eagles 36, Bulls 0, and the Bulls, it's a long way back for them now. You feel here at Bellevue. Sheffield Eagles 7th in the table on 10 points. They're going to go 14 points clear of the Bulls, and you suspect that will be enough to take Sheffield out of the relegation battle. As we said, it was Dewsbury Rams 10, Halifax 12 at half time, Swinton 16, Toulouse 6. We'll give you an update on the latest scores when we can, as the ball goes off the kicking tee. So Joe Keys will attempt the restart yet again. Incidentally, that Bradford side that beat Sheffield by 48 points to 16 at Odsall in round 9. Thomas fullback, Winfrey quarterline, Caro, Oakes, Ryan and Campbell, Price and Lilly the halves, Magrin, Moore, Murray, Leroya, Bentley and Roach the forwards, and on the bench Kirk Wilkinson, Davis, who made his debut, and Joe Keys. So not too dissimilar. You're only really missing Leroya, Murray and Lilly. Here though, the Bulls trail 36 points to 0. Sheffield have the ball from the restart. 27 minutes remaining in this one. Burns out of dummy half, gives it to Sam Scott. Sam Scott wrapped up there by Chapel-Howe and Davies. They're going to look for a 40-20 early in the tackle count. Does Brown. It's heading towards the touchline. Now it's heading towards the dead ball line. It's perfectly weighted. McCartney has to scoop down and pick it up, and he meets the red-shirted Eagles defenders. 5 out from his own try line. So Bradford, they're going to have to come from deep. Have they got any go forward as it goes out of dummy half from Oscar Thomas? He gives it there to Hodgson. Evan Hodgson takes it 25 out from his own try line, just to the left of centre field. Mexico and Fozzard in defence for the Eagles. Here goes Kirk on tackle number 3, 15 shy of the halfway line. Hallis looks for options in dummy half, gives it there to Keys. Keys tries to beat Burns, tries to beat Minchella and Brown, can't get past Trout and Hope, and he's wrapped up on the last there is Joe Keys. 10 shy of the halfway line, it goes to Leon Price. Leon Price looks for a 40-20. It's off the fly. It's going. Miller just gets there in time and picks it up 5 in from touch. And he now will take a tackle by Ethan Ryan and Liam Kirk. 10 out from his own try line. In at dummy half is Fozzard. 2 tries this afternoon. He's going to float it out to Miller. Miller beats Campbell. And away they go again, the Eagles. Up to the halfway line, looking for support. The ball's been knocked on there by Mark Mexico. The officials have missed it, and referee Tom Grant will say play on as it comes back down the middle. Will Hope with ball in hand. Brought down by Davies and Kirk. The 5 inside the Bradford half. Blackmore picks it up. Out of dummy half, calms things down, and he's turning the tackle there by Davies and Kirk in a double team effort. Tackle number 4 coming up for the Eagles. They're 40 out from the Bradford line. Flat pass out of dummy half from Fozzard to Matt James. Eagles coming up with error number 8. Scrum to the Bulls. 10 shy of the halfway line inside their own half. And it is 25 minutes to go. Providence scoreboard. Eagles 36, Bulls 0. We knew it was going to be tough. I never envisaged it would be 36-0 and such a poor Bulls performance, Obbo.
No, neither did I. And, obviously the losing effect of the last few weeks has crept in today. And, it's very, very difficult to get out of that. Sheffield have been very effervescent. Let's take nothing away from them. They've made mistakes with Sheffield. They haven't quite got it right, but they look like they wanted to win it more. And they're doing everything at a faster pace than Bradford have.
So the scrum finally reset. Keys to McCarney. Incidentally, Omari Caro doesn't have an injury. He's just been dropped. He's on water carrying duties this afternoon. So not in the thoughts of Jeff Tuvey in this one. Evan Hodgson takes it up and over the halfway line. Thomas gives it to Kirk. Kirk crashes onto the ball and is brought down 30 out from the Sheffield try line. The Bull supporters in fine spirits behind the post despite the score as Davies breaks clear, finds the support from Hallis. Hallis to Thomas. Thomas brought down in a last grab tackle there by Minchella.
That's
Bradford,
better from the Bradford Bulls.
10 out now from the Sheffield line, looking for the first points of the afternoon. Evan Hodgson on the angled run, and he's brought down 2 shy of the line, 5 in from the far stand side on the last tackle. They're going to centre field from Thomas. Thomas peppers one behind the Eagles defensive line, and it's palm dead there by Menzieri. The Bulls have a repeat set. It's the first goal line dropout of the game, and the Bulls have forced it, and the Bulls now playing with a little bit more confidence. Unfortunately, the clock and the scoreboard both against them. 23 minutes remain. Providence scoreboard, Eagles 36, Bulls 0.
You're right, Michael. The scoreboard and the time against the Bradford Bulls, but that was better from the Bradford Bulls, spurred on by the great travelling support. What fans they've got here at the Bradford Bulls.
Campbell then on the restart, caught high by Matt James. He was going down in the tackle, was Campbell, so it wasn't malicious. Bradford have penalty number 6 of the afternoon, and Johnny Campbell gets to his feet, races towards his main stand wing position, and referee just speaks to Matt James saying poor tackling technique, penalty and a telling off. So Keys with ball in hand. He's not going to place kick it. Is this going to tap it? Because they're 30 out from the line. So the Bulls are going to do the hard yards forward. And it goes to Davies. Davies, on his 5th appearance in the red, amber and black, gets to his feet, plays the ball out to Moore. Moore to Price. Price along the line to Ryan. Ryan finds the support there on the inside from Price. Price back on the inside to Hodgson. Hodgson wrapped up 2 shy of the line. Bradford desperately clinging on here. They need to get the first points of the afternoon. Can Davies crash over from dummy half? No, he can't. He's held up on top of the line. The referee says he'll get up and play the ball. He turns in the tackle. It goes more. It goes deep to Keys. Keys to Thomas. Oscar Thomas. Oh, my word. He's just thrown the ball inexplicably into touch on this main stand side. Mendeka and Campbell, they were in field. There was no one there, and it is going to be a scrum, head and feed to the Sheffield Eagles. 10 out from their own try line. And we did see John Magrin take his seat in front of our commentary position with his tracksuit on. So no Ross Oakes in this second half, no Magrin. The Bulls are doing it tough, Hobbo. They've no interchange players, and they're trailing 36-0.
When you're down, and nothing goes right, playing catch-up football there. The Bradford Bulls did have the Eagles' defence stretched, and under normal circumstances, that would have gone in the breadbasket, and somebody would have touched down, wouldn't they? But they didn't. The pass went into touch, flying over the top. Very much like Bradford Bulls season so far, Mick, into the stands and forgotten for today. Next week it's all about now. It's back on the horse tomorrow in training. It's all about next week now because this game is gone.
Well, the Bulls have the week off because it is the Challenge Cup next week. So
that's right, you're right.
A huge 2 weeks coming up to the halfway line. On the halfway line, Mexico kicks out in the tackle, and the referee gives the Eagles the hosts this afternoon. Penalty number 8 on the halfway line. He's going to say Liam Kirk just pulled the big prop forward down as he got up to play the ball, and the clock will be stopped because James Davis now has got what looks to be a left arm injury, and he's grimacing in pain in back play. So the clock stopped. The Bulls really can't afford to lose any more players. Ross Oakes has left the field. He's not come back on. He's got an ankle injury. We see John Magrin sat down in front of us. We can only assume that he's not passed the head concussion test. Yep. So the Bulls really limited in numbers and options here. And let's not forget the +4 and against. And interestingly, going into this game this afternoon, both sides played 12, won 5 and lost 7. So you take the 12 points off the Bulls. The Bulls would be 8th in the table, just behind the Sheffield Eagles. And this will be a big win if Sheffield can hold on. There's still 21 minutes remaining. Never say never in rugby league, but it is almost like going up Mount Everest without a coat or an oxygen mask.
Very much so, Michael. And, our Mount Everest seems to be every week these days at the Bradford Bulls. But, that'll make conquering it, when we do conquer it, even more sweeter. And it's just an uphill battle. That's all it is. It's an uphill battle. But we do need cavalry. We do need more troops.
James Davis will leave. James Davis was getting led from the field of play. He's actually going to stay on, so credit to him. So Sheffield, they'll tap this penalty. 20 out from the Bradford line. It goes out to Brown. Brown gives it there some air and width to Sam Scott, who scored a try in the first half, and he's wrapped up in a free-man tackle. Colton Roach in there, so too Sam Hallas. Fozzard picked it up at dummy half along the line to Mexico. Mexico out of the tackle, keeps it going to Johnson. Johnston towards the line. And that is going to be Liam Johnson's second try in the match. And it's a 7th for the Eagles. And it's 40 points to 0 on that Providence scoreboard, Hobbo. My, oh my. Well, it's a capitulation.
Well, yeah, the thing now is you've got to muscle up and play for pride and stop the rot, because that was easy. And it is easy. Whenever they get into the Bradford Bulls 20, they're playing about with the Bradford Bulls. Again, if I can explain why, the forwards were in harder, the punching holes in a very, very weak and lapsadaisical defence. Totally out-muscled here today, Bradford Bulls. But, with 20 minutes to go, this could be a 60 round. And when you're getting, so far we're getting nilled, and somebody's putting that sort of figure up against you, in fact, that's where it ends, and it's very difficult. Picking the bones out of this won't be easy. I think the best thing we'll all do is go home after this, have a cup of tea, lie down, and let's worry about a fortnight's time.
Well, I think it'd be interesting to know what the listeners are thinking, because tweet us using the BCB Bulls hashtag, and we're on air till 5 o'clock. I'm of the opinion that we've heard from Jazz Beer, we've heard from Russ McFarlane, the chairman and the operations director. We know how hard it is, but there has to be an inquest. There has to be a review.
Well, you've got to because it won't stop.
What's happening?
Yeah, Michael, I totally agree with you. There's going to be an inquest at this stage in the competition. I know it's difficult. I know everything's against them. I know the kids. I know you can't just go sign players willy-nilly because you haven't got the money. They're not available. And I know there's no point signing anybody that's not as good as the ones you've got. But there's going to be some serious questions asked. And you can't just get rid of players that are on a contract either. But there's one or two players in this Bradford Bulls side aren't championship players. Sorry, they are not even championship players. And that's what we've got to work out. And that's what the Bradford Bulls have got to work out.
Well, it's Bradford Bulls 0, Sheffield Eagles 42. Simon Brown 7 from 7, and as we said, Liam Johnson with his second try of the afternoon. 7 tries to 0, and the restart from Joe Keys will immediately see the big frame of Mark Mexico, the Papua New Guinea international, take it up to the 30. And Burns in at dummy half, gives it to Fozzard. Fozzard along the line to Wheeldon. Wheeldon looks for support, finds it. The ball's dropping off tackles now. Here goes Ryan Miller. Scott Moore's pinched it 1-on-1, and it's gone back into the arms of the Sheffield Eagles. And back they come forward now. 0 tackle. Still with ball in hand. Johnston has it. Gives it to Miller. Miller along the line there to Scott. Scott gives it to Yeri. Menzieri beats Campbell. Campbell, though, body checks him and rolls him into touch. The referee's going to give Sheffield a penalty, and that is diabolical refereeing. The momentum wasn't stopped. Tom Grant's got that run wrong. Well, everything's going against the Bulls. They might as well have the 50-50 decisions going against them. The Bull supporters in this main stand on the feet, beseeching the young official from Dewsbury. And it will be penalty number 9 to the Eagles, and they'll tap the ball 10 out, and they're looking for try number 8. Here you feel. Tapped there by Brown. Brown along the field. Gives it there to Whitley. Whitley is wrapped up by Price and Hodgson. 8 shy of the Bradford Bulls try line. Fozzard out of dummy half. Gives it to Trout. Trout towards the line. That is far too easy. Trout was on his knees. He literally crawled over the line in a 2-man tackle from Kirk and Thomas. And it is a demolition job because the Eagles have an 8th try of the afternoon, and they're going to put 14 points daylight between themselves and the Bulls. Sheffield will go to 12 points. The Bulls will remain on -2. Trout gets in on the 46 points to 0. Kick to come underneath the sticks. And the Bull supporters, they've seen enough. They're heading for the exits.
I don't blame them, quite frankly. Given everything that's gone on, and even as much as you love the Bulls, you've got to say enough's enough. And when a player like Trout, who's been around the Championship but walks through you, and you don't even attempt to stop him, you've got to question how you're a rugby league player, quite frankly. And that's a question I'd be asking the Bradford Bulls players tomorrow morning at train. I'd line them up in a line and say, are you rugby league players? Are you rugby league players? Because if you're frightened, go home. Pack your bags and go home. Because you can't be frightened in this game, and there's been nothing there from the Bradford Bulls in the last 10 minutes that's shown me anything that the real rugby league players. As harsh as that sounds, because this is quite embarrassing now if you're a Bradford Bulls fan.
Simon Brown will attempt the conversion. Just looking again at the body language of the Bulls players. Scott Moore deep in conversation with Sam Hallis. A little bit disjointed, his performance, it has to be said. And Brown, no mistake, keeps that radar firmly turned on. 8 from 8. And it's 48 points to 0, and this already is going to be Sheffield's biggest ever win over the Bradford Bulls / Bradford Northern, and we've still got 16 minutes to go. And I think this performance, Obbo, I know this is going on Bulls TV, and there might be people actually watching it back during the week, but this performance does not justify 1,000 Bulls fans coming here this afternoon.
That's a sad thing, and you're absolutely right. You know, that's an investment from 1,000 people, 800 people, whatever it is, of the hard-earned money to watch a performance like that. Now, performances like this do happen for all teams from time to time, not just the Bradford Bulls, Leeds, Wigan, whoever, it happens. But, you know, it's happening far too often for the Bradford Bulls. The very sad thing is, and the very difficult thing is that, and it is mitigation, as you would put it, is that a lot of these kids are very young, so some of them can be forgiven for the performances they're putting in. But still, that doesn't allow for the fact that, you know, that some fans will vote with their feet, which is the last thing the Bradford Bulls want when they're wanting to get the money into the coffers.
From the restart then, Sheffield, 25 out from their own try line. Menzieri beats Mendeka. Brought down there by Kirk. And Keys, once again, quick distribution out of dummy half from Matty Fozzard. Fozzard gives it to Scott. Scott's lost the ball, and Bradford will have a scrum 40 out from the Sheffield line. So, the Eagles still coming up with 9 errors in this match. Unfortunately, you know, pretty much everything else has been error-free, and they really have cut the Bulls to shreds, and it will be a scrum. And once again, the Bulls just happy to let that clock run down. I think they just want full time. Damage limitation now, 1 feels. The sun's still beaming down here. Fantastic afternoon here, conditions-wise, weather-wise. And there's a bit of a dispute in the scrum. James Davies getting a little bit physical with Mark Mexico. on that outside prop position.
He should have done that when he was running at him, Mick. It's too late messing about in the scrum.
So Keys takes the ball in along the line to Ryan. Ryan to McCarney. Still no Ross Oakes back on the field, so we can assume that he's done for the afternoon. We'll get injury updates from Lee Beattie after the full-time hooter. As always, keep an eye on the SoundCloud and Audio Boom pages during the week for interviews and exclusive news. Leon Price takes it towards the line, offloads it to Ethan Ryan. Can Ethan Ryan squeeze in at the corner? No, he can't. He's brought down by Miller in a last gasp tackle. Hallis tries to go over from dummy half. He's wrestled back into the field of play, and he'll get to his feet and play the ball. Bradford literally on top of that Sheffield Eagles try line. Price scoops it up out of dummy half. It bounces backwards to Keys. Keys to Davies. Davies wrapped up. 8 out from the line. They've lost a little bit of momentum. It is the last tackle. Quick play the ball. Keys. Peppers one behind the Eagles line, and that's easily picked up there. Although the referee is going to say James Davies has somehow trapped Will Hope like a fish in a net behind the line, and they've got a repeat set of 6. So a bit of a positive there. Joe Keys finally finding his rhythm, but unfortunately in the first half, no rhythm. And a key point, Obbo, you mentioned the half-back pairing, Joe Keys, Leon Price. They've played 3 games previously this season out of the previous 14, if you include the Challenge Cup. It has been another disjointed half-back partnership, and I don't think we've had a settled half-back since we had Luke Gale at the club, and it is difficult.
No, that's true. That is actually true. It's very, very difficult, and when you play behind a beaten pack, and it's hard for the a team that is struggling, then it is very, very, very difficult. Easiest thing in the world to criticise, very, very difficult.
From the restart, Bradford 20 out. Hodgson gets to his feet to Hallis, to Price, to Thomas. Thomas has reached out over the line, and Oscar Thomas will bring cheers from the travelling Bulls contingent. He took the pass from Leon Price and he bounced his way over the line. The referee says momentum got him there. He's collided with the Sheffield player in the in-goal area, so Thomas is down and the referee will stop the clock. But the Bulls give this huge travelling support that has come across the M62 and M1 to Wakefield. Something to cheer about. 12 minutes to go. Sheffield 48. Bulls 4. They'll be nilled.
No, well, that's one good thing. That's a positive of a small kind to take from this game. Leon Price on the left-hand side, prompting and probing. His vision's still there, still got the brain. Legs might not quite be there, but the brain's there, the passing ability's there. And over to the left-hand side, the ball eventually ended up in the hands of, I think it was Oscar Thomas. And Oscar Thomas has tried all afternoon. Very, very difficult in these circumstances to get your normal rhythm and get your game plan into operation. But the ball went through several players' hands, ended up in the hand of Oscar Thomas. He took the ball down. But as he was trying to touch the ball down, 2 Sheffield defenders were trying to tackle him. There was a collision 60, 70 metres away from here, probably a head collision. And let's hope Oscar Thomas is all right. He's up on his knees now, so hopefully that's the case. And if we can convert this from Joe Keys, that'll be 6. And it's round the clock down. Sheffield haven't got the ball. Bradford are going to get the ball back. So perhaps the massive drought we thought it might be averted, although if it remained at 48 points to 4, it's not good, is it?
Yeah,
I'm looking for positives, Mick. I'm looking for real positives here to take out of this. Yeah. But I'm not a man that paper the cracks over anything. It's not been good.
I don't think you can paper over the cracks. We've got to be honest. This has been a very disjointed, unsettled, poorly structured Bulls performance. Oscar Thomas just getting strapping around the forehead in the in-goal area, so this is just going to hold up play ever so slightly. We're on air till 5 p.m, so keep your tweets coming in. I don't look at my phone to see what supporters are saying, but use the BCB Bulls hashtag, tweet me, tweet Hobbo, tweet the station. Your thoughts, your views, they really do mean a lot to us here, and we're both Bradford fans at that. We don't want to be sat here calling 48
far from it.
Points to 4 defeats, but I just can't put my finger on what's happened today, because Sam Hallis, Sam Brooks, Ted Chappell-Howe, James Davies, you've got a big mobile pack, perhaps a bit of lack of experience, perhaps with Brooks and Chappell-Howe, but then one's a Scottish international, one's had 5 games of Super League with witness this season, so there is a little bit of experience there. But, I think the makeshift nature of the side doesn't help. It's
I think
almost
you've
like
hit the nail on the head.
It's almost like putting.
You've hit the nail on the
It's
head.
almost like putting Frankenstein together. Keys from the touchline. This one.
Well done, Joe Keys.
Perfect.
Fabulous kick from Joe
Sheffield
Keys.
48, the Bradford Bulls 6. So Joe Keys adds an extra 2. The gap down to 42, 11 and a half minutes to go. And let's see what the Bulls can do on the restart. As we said, Sheffield, fair to say that their 2016 season didn't go as planned. Many expected them to be challenging for the top 4 once more, but the Bulls did beat them in the Championship Shield, and they did beat them also in the Championship Shield qualifying round, 80-0 at Odsall. So this is going somewhere to get a little bit of revenge for that. From the restart, it's taken by Mendeka, 20 out from his own line, and he's going to be wrapped up there by Scott and Burns. Gets up, plays the ball. Campbell in at dummy half, looks at his options, tries to go past Brown.
He's had the go, Johnny Campbell,
Wrapped
hasn't
up there by Campbell. Yep, certainly full of enthusiasm.
He's had a go. Yes,
Campbell laying on in the tackle, wins the penalty.
Yeah.
Brown is going to be pinged, so Bradford have penalty number 7. This one awarded, 30 out from their own line, and Keys just waiting for the referee to give the mark. We've still got 11 minutes remaining. The Bulls will tap it on the halfway line. Campbell picks the ball up, gives it to Hallis. Hallis is going to give it to Roach. Roach on an angled run meets Mexico, Burns and Scott, and he's wrapped up 10 inside the Eagles half. It goes out of dummy half from Hallis to Kirk. 2 tries in 2017. Scott on the opening day against Hulkinson Rovers when the Bulls actually led Hulkinson Rovers 6-0. It goes from Price. Price giving it there, some air, out to Chapelhow. He's going to be wrapped up on the left hand edge. Chapelhow gets to his feet, plays the ball, and this is going to be Brooks now, down the middle. So Chapelhow and Brooks getting involved late on. Quick play the ball, Hallis to Kirk, to Keys, Keys to Thomas. Thomas floats it out to Mendeka. Mendeka to Campbell! And Johnny Campbell will go in 20 metres in from this main stand side. And the Bulls do go back to back. 48 points to 10. 10 minutes and 30 seconds remaining. Keys wants to take the kick quick.
They do indeed. They're going to get the ball back by keeping hold of the football and having the last 10 minutes mistake free. The Bradford Bulls have allowed themselves to get back into the game with some crisp passing, some good running. And I think that try was a fabulous try from Johnny Campbell. He flew onto the end of that pass, round the corner. He read the Sheffield defence very, very well. And I think he gets just reward for Johnny Campbell because I think he's been one of the better Bradford players for me. Played very, very well today.
Joe Keys strikes in with the right boot. It is looking like it's just going to go across the face of the post, and it's waved away by the touch judges. So the score remains Sheffield Eagles 48, Bradford Bulls 10, and we've still got 9 minutes to go. And the supporters sat to us right. It's this bellowed out, really loud and boisterous. Come on, Bradford, let's go up the other end and get another. Why not?
Well, that's here, and it makes for a slightly better reading, doesn't it? And it's not quite as vicious as a defeat as we perhaps thought a quarter of an hour ago.
James Mendeka just getting back into the Bulls' defensive line. Looks to be in a little bit of pain. He missed 5 games earlier on in the season with a knee injury. Simon Brown's restart comes down, 20 out, and it's an easy tech there from McCarney. And McCarney, in turn, gives it there to Chapelhow, and he gets to his feet, promotes the ball forward, and that is going to be Hodgson on tackle number 2. Hodgson gets to his feet. Thomas now in at dummy half. It goes to Brooks. Brooks striding forward, 10 shy of the halfway line, dumped in the tackle. Another penalty to the Bulls. 9-8 the trail on the count now. The penalty's coming quick and fast. The try's following, and it is going to be a kick from Joe Keys that will take the Bulls 40 out from the Eagles line. Are they going to go back to back to back? 16 points in literally 4 minutes. It goes to Kirk. Kirk taps it and goes. 20 out now from the Sheffield line. The Bull supporters banging the drum, playing the trumpet, clapping their hands as it goes out to Brooks. Brooks carries the ball in, brought down there by Mexico and Burns. 15 out, centre field. It goes from Hallis to Kirk. Kirk back to Hallis. Hallis to Keys. Keys to Mendeka. Mendeka brought down there by Menziere, and he's dumped on his back 10 shy of the Eagles line. And this will be tackle number 4. And Menzieri pushing and shoving Simon Brown there. I'm not sure, there's a bit of disagreement there. I think Simon Brown's saying you've just gone a little bit over the top there, but it was all legal. Referee Tom Grant stops the clock, and Mendeca's now down on his haunches. So I think we're going to have to probably get an injury update from James Mendeca. Not sure if he's going to be able to continue. Thankfully, the Bulls out of the Challenge Cup this season, all about staying up, avoiding relegation. So Mendeca just down, not good to see. The attendance is 1,437, so 1,437. Sheffield's biggest crowd of the season to date, swelled arguably by, we reckon, anything up to 1,000 Bulls fans. They have been getting 300 and 400 here, so yeah, you can safely say a huge travelling contingent once again from the Provident Stadium, Odsel. And James Mendeca now led from the field of play, not of his own accord, is limping. So Vila Halafihi and the physio just carrying him off the field. And it will be a play the ball for the Bradford Bulls. Just on the nod of referee Tom Grant. Is just making sure Mendeca is led from the field. So Bradford just down to 1 interchange player on the bench. So no Oakes, no Mendeca, no Magrin, who's just sat in front of us listening to our dulcet tones in the sunshine here at Wakefield. Well, it was 48 points to 0 with 15 minutes to go. We've seen 2 tries in 5 minutes from the Bulls. Are they about to get try number 3? It goes to Keys on the resumption of play. It goes to Price. Price to Thomas. Thomas to the line, looks to find support. He's held up over the line, and they'll go back to the 10 and they'll play the ball. Thomas almost hesitating there with ball in hand. Looked for support, couldn't find it. Swarming, scrambling defence from the Eagles. It's still 48 points to 10, and the Bulls will have one more tackle in this set. 10 out. It goes to Keys. Keys there to Brooks, and Brooks is brought down 5 out to the left-hand side of the sticks on the last tackle. Hallis to Price. Price to Hodgson. Evan Hodgson has got a third try for the Bradford Bulls. Listen to the cheers. Where was this from the Bulls at the start of the match? 48 points to 14. The comeback is on. 7 minutes remain.
The comeback is on. I like that one. It's very good. Look, the reason is, Mick, is because the start of Sheffield of the ball. Great try there from the Bradford Bulls. Sheffield have had no football whatsoever for the last quarter of an hour. When you've got the ball and you can call the shots, you can do something with it. Sheffield tiring now, part-time side versus full-time, and that's good from the Bradford Bulls. It only leads you to think, if they could have been a little bit more alert, a little bit more awake in the first half, what just might have been.
Joe Keys will get the extra 2. That one a little bit more difficult. 15 to the left of the sticks. And it is Sheffield Eagles 48, the Bradford Bulls 16. A complete reverse of the scores when the Met at Odsel in round 9. The Bulls beating the Eagles that afternoon by 48 points to 16. Well, at least the Bulls are giving it a go in this second half. The second half, it's 20 points to 16, so they're trailing by 4. So Jeff Tuvey will probably focus on the positives of this last 10 minutes. Well, we've got 6 minutes remaining. The Bulls have just scored 16 points in 6.5 minutes, and they will have the ball again, and it goes on the restart to Ryan. Ryan gives it to Davies, and Davies takes it up, turned on his back in the tackle, just shy of his own 20-metre line. Thomas with the bandage around his forehead gives it to the try scorer Hodgson. He gives it to Ryan. Along the line they go again, and they're 20 shy of halfway inside their own half. There's more pushing and shoving at the ruck. The referee just saying get up and play the ball. It goes to McCarney. McCarney back to Hodgson, his second carry in this set, and they're now 15 shy of the halfway line. Price dances with the ball, skips to it. No look pass to Keys. They've lost a lot of momentum and ground there. The Bulls, a bit of a hospital pass there from Price. Keys dives on the ball. He had Mexico chasing, bearing down on him. They come towards this Maidstad side with Chapel Howe, and Chapel Howe is wrapped up on the last tackle. Bit of a messy play of the ball, but it does find Joe Keys eventually. Keys strikes aim. It's going to bounce up kindly for Keys. Keys has the ball again. Crossfield kick looking for McCarney. McCarney just doesn't quite get there in time. It's Blackmore who averts the danger. Neat little play though by Keys. Good inventive qualities. And Sheffield finally, at long last, after not having the ball for 8 minutes, have possession. Eagles 48, Bulls 16.
More likely from the Bradford Bulls, and there'll be something for Tuvey to build on in training this week. Like you said, they've got a week off next week because of the Challenge Cup rounds, and I think some rested bodies need resting for the Bradford Bulls. Although I'm a big fan of getting back on the horse when you've had a big defeat and putting it out of the system, but it's not going to be, is it? The next game, London at home.
Penalty to the Sheffield Eagles. A loud, shrill blast there as the referee has caught the balls inside the 10. And it will be Simon Brown who's going to find touch. So Bradford have to do a bit of defending here. 30 out from their own line. They're back up on the 20. Sheffield will tap it 30 out. Burns with a black scrum cap, taps it on the left foot, floats it in centre field. It's going to go down the middle with Trout. Trout bounces off Chapelhow. Can't get past Brooks. He's allowed to offload the ball in the tackle. No one was watching that ball carrying arm, and Sheffield pinch some metres forward via Will Hope. Hope gets to his feet. Burns along the field. It goes to Cox. Cox is wrapped up 10 out on tackle number 3. We've got 3.5 minutes remaining here. Someone end the misery, but the Bulls certainly playing with a spring in the step in the final 10. As Sheffield go on the run around, finds Miller. Miller on this main stand side. He's brought down 5 out from the Bradford line in a standing tackle, led there by Chapelhow and Brooks. Burns to Mexico. Mexico down that middle channel. Davis wraps him up. Eagles, they've got numbers on the far stand side if they can see it. Well, they might not need it there because Perry Whitley has just gone over the line himself. But that is good scrambling defence from the Bulls. Kirk and Hodgson, 2 of the homegrown players, holding him up. But the referee is going to give Sheffield their 11th penalty of the afternoon. I'm not sure what he's give there, Hobbo. Is he saying there was a ball steal over the line?
Yes, he is.
So penalty to Sheffield, a fresh set of 6.
A little bit harsh again, I would have thought, wouldn't you? But
yeah.
I think
I'll tell you something, 48-0, you know, the fans are up in arms. 48-16 with a bright finish.
It's disappointing,
It's
but
disappointing,
not been
but there has been a few positives then to
has.
take out when you comb through, you know, and dissect this performance. So, tapped by Brown, given to Mexico. Mexico charges towards the line, wrapped up there by Chapelhow and Kirk. Quick play of the ball. It goes to Sam Scott. Sam Scott is going to reach out and score. And Sheffield have try number 9 of the afternoon. They reach the big 5-0. It's 52 points to 16.
Ridiculous to the sublime and back to the ridiculous again. And that really is the story of the game. And that unless you get your body and your physical and your contact, then you'll just get trodden on. And that's what's happened. The Bradford Bulls tired and physically not as strong as Sheffield, allowing the Sheffield forward there to just barge his way over the line quite easily. And that's been a telltale sign of how Sheffield have scored their tries. They've nearly all come from the forwards, Mick, around the, if you notice, 10 or 15 metres either side of the post. And Sheffield being far too strong up front for the Bradford Bulls. And when they do get some possession back, with possession, they gain that much more yardage and therefore always posing a threat and a problem to the Bradford Bulls. Brown to take the kick, he lines it up, 10, 12 metres in. And, well, you can't knock Sheffield. They've had passion, they've had enthusiasm, they've had desire.
It's my turn, Hobbo, to get the Twitter abuse. Ian Gatwood, apparently tweet from Game Caller says, despite score, not important signs of Super League formers. Simon Brown hoofs it across the face of the post, so the score remains 52 points to 16. His first miss of the afternoon. Sheffield 9 tries to 3 in front into the goal. I think I've been misquoted. What I actually said was Brooks, Chapelhow, albeit only playing 5 games and 3, they do bring a bit of Super League form to the Bulls this afternoon. But Sheffield, worthy winners. The Bulls well beaten, and there's only 20 more seconds to go as the restart is taken by Miller. They're floating the ball out towards Menziera. Here goes Menziera. He's allowed to give the ball back to Gary Lowe. Surprised Yeri and Lowe not been on the score sheet this afternoon. Fair play to Colton Roach. The hooter's going to sound as Gary Lowe's brought down 30 out from his own try line. It ends the pain, it ends the misery. A disappointing performance from the Bradford Bulls. Positives in that final 15 minutes. They outscored the Sheffield Eagles by 16 points to 4.